been just completely parched, dreaming of that perfect glass of water, that really refreshing sip.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe, you take a breath before jumping into a pool and you feel the water soak in, knowing your skin's absorbing, well, everything.
Right, that immediate contact.
For most of us, water is just H2O. Simple stuff, vital but simple. But what if it's not? What if it's fundamentally more complex?
More dynamic.
Exactly. Like, what if it has a memory or an electric charge that actually affects our bodies in a big way? Okay, let's unpack this. We're doing a deep dive today into a world where water isn't just water. It's presented as this sophisticated thing with memory, with charge,
right,
dictating our health.
And what's really fascinating here, I think, is how these ideas just challenge our standard view of water.
Yeah, totally.
They're linking its physical properties, even its sort of energetic state, directly to human health, to detoxification. It's a big leap from just hydration.
It really is. So our mission today is to look into these sources, talking about negatively charged water. We'll dig into the benefits they claim, the tech behind it, which is pretty out there, honestly.
Definitely unconventional.
And figure out what it all could mean. For us, personally, maybe even for things like cleaning up the environment. So yeah, get ready. This might change how you look at water.
Or even yourself.
Right. Let's start with the basics, the core claim. Water has a charge, positive or negative, and that dictates how it affects us.
Yeah, the sources draw a really stark line here.
They do. They say positively charged water actually causes decay in the body. They call it very bad for you.
And they specifically mention RO water, reverse osmosis water.
Yeah, singled out as very bad. But then, negatively charged water, that's the opposite. It supposedly does the opposite of decay.
The fountain of youth, I think, is the phrase they use.
That's the one. Bringing youth back, hydrating cells, bringing minerals, keeping the body in balance. It sounds amazing, frankly.
It does. And this is where that idea of electrical polarity becomes just central.
Explain that bit more.
Well, the sources claim that basically all toxins in our body, they carry a positive charge.
Okay.
So the theory goes, if you introduce a negatively charged environment, say, by drinking this special water, those positive toxins just can't stick around.
Ah, like repelling magnets?
Sort of, yeah. They say the toxins get flushed out because they cannot live in that environment. Polarity is very important, they stress.
And they go further, saying positively charged everything is basically designed to screw us up. That's a direct quote.
It's a strong statement. It connects to their analogy that our bodies aren't just chemical factories, we're more like solar batteries, driven by energy, by charge.
So negatively charged water is like the ultimate battery charger, fighting decay.
That's the picture they paint. Vitality, hydration, minerals, balance, all from that negative charge.
It's quite a claim, linking charge directly to biological function like that.
It is. It suggests water's role is far more active, more energetic than we typically think.
Now, we usually think about drinking water, right? But these sources, they widen the lens quite a bit.
They do. They talk about all contact with water, especially pools.
Right. They remind us skin is the biggest organ and we are sponges. Whatever's on our skin just soaks right in.
Which leads to their concern about typical swimming pools.
Yeah, the chemicals, chlorine, bleach, stuff for algae.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the claim is pretty blunt. These things get absorbed and poison your endocrine system and your body.
That's alarming, thinking about how common pools are.
It is. And it builds their case. They ask, why would we go and soak and put our kids in pools like that?
It's time for a change, setting up their solution, clearly.
Precisely. It implies their approach tackles more than just what comes out of the tap.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting. Let's talk about how they claim to create this negatively charged healing water. They introduced something called the OMGEN water prototype.
Right. Described as a full-on laboratory for testing water, apparently in a trailer.
A mobile water lab. And the process starts with, well, not clean water.
No, they say wastewater or contaminated water. That's the input.
And
it goes through a pre-treatment process, multiple stages, soft filters, sand filters, and an EPA-certified carbon filter. Standard stuff, but important prep work.
Okay, cleaning it up first, then it goes into a holding tank.
Yeah, storage tank, before being pumped into the next sort of core stage.
The main event,
Well,
which involves these NEA devices.
That's right. And these aren't just filters. They're described as creating a magnetic field that reverse vortexes water through it.
A reverse vortex.
Wow,
Okay,
right.
and the magnets are special.
Apparently.
Yeah.
A perfectly patterned, geometrically patterned shaped array of magnets. Very specific wording.
And what does this device do to the water, according to them?
Several things. It supposedly transmutates toxins out, permanently negatively charges the water, and this is a big one, changes the structure.
How so?
From a 5-sided hexagonal structure to a 6-sided hexagonal structure.
Wow. Okay. That's very precise. And there's more, isn't there? Something about memory.
Yes, this is maybe the most unconventional part. The NEA device is also credited with wiping the memory of all the toxic frequencies that are embedded in the memory of the water.
Wiping water's memory. They say it has a memory.
Explicitly. Water has a memory just like our DNA, they claim. Which, is a significant departure from mainstream science.
Absolutely. And they also throw in that water inside us is H3O, not H2O, and that's the same 6-sided structure they make.
That's the claim, linking their process directly to the supposed natural state of water in our bodies, H3O, 6-sided crystalline structure.
Okay, so the NEA device wipes the memory, zaps the toxins, restructures it, charges it. What's next in the OMGEN line?
After that big transformation, there's another filtration step, this time focusing on removing any leftover inert stuff.
More filter.
Right, EPA-certified carbon and CT resin filters. They emphasize these are highest standard.
And then back to the magic.
Kinda, yeah. It goes through another NEA process, a second pass.
Why a second time?
To supercharge the water to a permanent negative charge, like reinforcing it, locking it in.
Huh. So it's not just treating, it's fundamentally altering its state, its energy, its information content as they see it.
That seemed to be the idea, moving way beyond just chemical purity into something else entirely. A radical redefinition, really.
Okay, if restructuring water and wiping its memory wasn't enough, things get even more, let's say, out there. They start infusing things.
Right. This is where they bring in healing frequencies and special probiotics.
Tell me about the resonate like water.
They describe it as a specialized, negatively charged probiotic water, but it's also infused with plasma frequencies.
Plasma frequencies. What does plasma mean here? Not like blood plasma or the state of matter like in stars?
They describe plasma almost like a quantum energy, something that can go through walls, through your body, through anything. It's a bit hard to pin down scientifically.
Okay. And how do they use this plasma?
They put it on the pipe as the water's flowing out. The idea is to program the plasma frequencies into the water.
Program the water.
Yeah, and recode the water's memory for health vitality minerals. That's the claim. So it raises the question, right, what's the actual mechanism they think is happening here? How does plasma program water memory?
Good question. And it doesn't stop there. There's something about trained microbes.
Yes. In that probiotic water, the microbes are apparently trained to eat parasite inside the body.
Trained microbes eating parasites.
Wow. And this probiotic mix is then dripped into the main line of the water system, so it becomes part of the final product.
And ancient frequencies, Tartarian frequencies.
They claim they encode a bunch of ancient Tartarian frequencies into the water's memory too, described as healing frequencies that they used to use before the turn of the century.
So it's like layering information onto the water structure, charge, probiotics, ancient energy signals.
It's incredibly layered. They're positioning water not just as a substance, but as a programmable medium for delivering, well, health instructions. It's a dense mix of concepts, biology, energy, maybe even history.
Do they give any specific examples of these frequencies?
They do mention Wilhelm Reich, saying he gave these frequencies to the world.
Okay.
And they cite one example, antiparasite channel 585, which apparently runs through all these different frequencies of antiparasitic.
Channel 585? Like a radio station for killing parasites?
Sort of, yeah. And the plasma is the delivery method again.
Yeah.
Shooting those frequencies into the water line. Because plasma goes through anything, it supposedly embeds these frequencies right into the water you'd eventually drink.
So the final water isn't just clean and charged, it's supposedly carrying specific energetic instructions targeted at things like parasites.
That's the full picture they're painting. Water as an active, energetic, information-carrying remedy delivery system. It's quite a vision.
It really is. So with all this tech and these pretty wild claims, where do they see OMGEN water being used? What are the applications?
They talk about a pretty broad scope.
Yeah.
Everything from big wastewater treatment facilities.
Okay, large scale.
To mobile barge units for cleaning up large bodies of water, like lakes or rivers.
Environmental cleanup. Interesting.
And bringing it back to the personal, they mentioned using it for your swimming pool.
Ah, connecting back to that earlier point about pool toxins.
Exactly. The overall promise is pretty bold. We can turn any of your water into healing water. Any water source.
But what about for us at home? Is there a product?
Yes, that's a key application they detail. A home filtration system. It uses those EPA-certified CT resin and carbon filters.
The ones they say get PFAS and PFOAs.
That's the specific claim, yeah.
Yeah.
That these are the only CT resin and carbons that pull out PFAS and PFOAs out of the water, which, addresses a huge current concern.
Definitely. If that part holds up, that alone is significant. What happens after those filters in the home system?
Then the water flows into the NEA device, right there in your home system.
So you get the whole package, the vortex, the structure change, the charge.
That's the idea. It brings the core technology, the magnetic field, reverse vortex, changing the structure from 5-sided to 6-sided hexagonal, wiping the toxic memory and giving it that permanent negative charge right into your house.
And they link this back to the core benefit again.
Constantly. Remember, positively charged water causes decay in the human body. Negatively charged water does the opposite of decay. That's the refrain.
And it's for the whole house.
Yes, designed for the whole house. So
yeah.
You bathe in it, cook with it, drink it out of the faucet, just like it's supposed to be done.
Total immersion in this transformed water.
That's the goal. It's a fascinating integrated approach, aiming to change all the water you interact with at home based on these unique principles.
So, wow, what does this all mean? We've covered some really paradigm-shifting stuff today, haven't we? All based on these sources. From water having a charge that dictates health, positive equals decay, negative equals youth, to this complex OMGEN process.
Magnetic vortexes, restructuring water molecules, wiping memory.
Probiotics trained to eat parasites, plasma infusing ancient healing frequencies. I mean, it's a lot. We've gone way beyond just H2O.
It certainly pushes you to think about water differently, doesn't it?
Right.
Not just as a simple chemical, but as this potentially complex energetic medium.
For sure.
These properties they describe, memory, H3O structure, carrying frequencies, it suggests, well, either we're just scratching the surface of understanding water, or these are just very novel, very ambitious interpretations of how water works and interacts with us. It definitely goes beyond standard chemistry into energy, information, maybe even biological programming.
Yeah, it really pushes the boundaries of conventional thinking, radically, I'd say. So thinking about everything we've heard today, the charge, the structure, the memory, the frequencies, how might these claims, these really extraordinary claims, challenge your own everyday assumptions about the water you drink, the water you bathe in, maybe even the very stuff that makes up your own body?